I'm Sharlean Windus. I'm a Reiki master teacher, yoga nidra guided meditation teacher, and esthetician. And today I'm going to be talking about the Clair senses. So everybody has 5 physical senses: the taste, touch, smell, see, hear. But you also have an intuitive ability or an intuitive sense, and that is called a Clair sense. Some people call it a psychic sense. And depending on where you look online or what book you read, there's 4, there's 5, there's 8, there's 10. There's probably some that we haven't discovered yet. Today I'm going to be talking about, I think, 8 of them that I've discovered myself. And hopefully, by learning these intuitive senses, you can figure out which one that you are, because everyone is at least one of the Clair senses, and sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe even all of them. And once you figure that out, you are more empowered, you feel more connected, you understand more about your energy, what's yours, what's others. So I think this is a really awesome tool to understand fully about yourself and be able to use it in personal and professional life and tap into your intuitive abilities and utilize them, because you were born with them. It's a birthright. They're there for you to use. So they're amazing. So let's start with clairvoyance. So that's an inner seeing or a clear seeing. So that's beyond what your normal eyes can see. So that would be someone who sees past information, possibly future information, also symbols. Maybe you can see energy around people or animals or objects. Also, I have clairvoyance, and the way that I see it is like a movie or an image of a photo in my mind, and it will pop up inside behind my eyes, almost like a projection forward on my eyes. Now that's how I intuit it. That might not be how your clairvoyance comes to you. So I think it's also really important to understand when you're dealing with energy and the subtleties of energy and the awesome available information that we now have out there, you might be something a little bit different or something along the lines of what I'm talking about, but not exactly. And so just knowing that this isn't black and white, there's a lot of gray area, and this is just a guidance tool available free everywhere for you to research on how you can connect and develop your own Clair senses. So that is clairvoyance. I brought my notes so I don't forget them all because there's so many. Claircognizance is clear knowing, and that is just, you know. You don't know why you know, you don't know how you know, you just know something. You know not to walk a certain way, you know not to make a decision, you know not to take a job, and it's nothing that is obviously apparent. It's more of this inner firm knowing. So that is claircognizance. Then there's clairaudience, which is inner hearing. So that is getting information or hearing information that's not with the normal audible ear. And you know it's not your own. You know it's an outside source. So that is clairaudient. Clair empathy, which is clear emotional feeling. So that is, you know, say you're around someone and you have an emotion, you know, sweep over you or sweep over you, and you know it's not your own. So that is you sensing another person's emotions, and maybe they're not obviously showing them to you. They're not crying or they're not angry, but you get this wave of crying or this wave of anger, and you know it's not your own. So that is Clair empathy. But you're feeling it in an emotional way. So it either makes you want to cry or makes you feel angry. That is Clair empathy. And that, I think that's one of the harder ones to have. Although it's a gift and it is an ability, that one can be a little bit more challenging to harness and understand, because you're having emotional responses to that. So even more important for you to understand this so that you can help yourself, empower yourself, protect yourself, and just have a clear understanding of who you are and what your abilities are. Everyone's born with intuition too. It's a birthright. Everyone has one of these senses, if not more. You may have all of them, you may have half of them, you may have 2 of them, or just 1 of them, and they can be developed. I think they can be developed over time. So then you have clairsentience, and that is clear physical feeling. So that is like, I work with someone, a coworker, who if she does work on another person, she sometimes has to go throw up or has a physical response to someone else's energy. Maybe you're around someone and they make you feel terrified, or they make you feel sick to your stomach, or you're having a physical response to energy. So that is what that Clair is. Also another challenging one to have because you're having physical responses to stuff. But you can learn boundaries, you can learn energy, and you can protect yourself, and you can ground your energy, and you can understand where you begin and where the other person ends. So if you are Clair empathetic or clairsentient, there are lots of things out there to help you establish boundaries in your energy field. And then we have, this one I think is called differently depending on where you look online, but clairtangency. I also heard it called something else. I took notes so I didn't forget to tell you guys all of this wonderful stuff. I can't find it, but anyway, it can be called a number of things, but clairtangency is clear touching. I think it's also called psychometry, and that is if you touch an object of someone who you don't know and you have information about them come through. So that is that Clair. That one's a interesting one. And then there's clairsalience, which is clear smelling. So say, you know, maybe your grandma died, but you smell her perfume every once in a while. That would be you smelling energy. So that is called clairsalience. And then I used to think clairgustance, which is the last one, was clairsalience. There's so many Clairs, you can get confused. Clairgustance is actually tasting energy. I don't think I've met anyone who tastes energy, but I know they're out there. And so that again would be you having a taste in your mouth that isn't from something that you ate or something that you drank, and you're tasting energy. So those are the ones that I mainly work with when I teach Reiki classes and I teach intuitive development. But you don't have to be a Reiki student to be learning about this or to know this information, to utilize this information, to empower yourself, to understand your energy field, and to understand that your intuition is something amazing that you have inside of you that you can develop and that you can harness and that you can use every day. So that is a little bit on the Clair senses. I hope you enjoyed this video.